Hey everybody, did you miss us? I hope so. Anyway, we'll be with you in a moment.
This is Jay Claire Car Show. Back again to let you all know. Claire is crazy, but she's not lazy. SJJ doesn't really know his way, but he tries, and he's fine, and he's usually on time. So settle back and get comfy. It's the SJJ and Claire Car Show. The SJJ and Claire Car Show. It's the SJJ and Claire Car Show. The SJJ and Claire Car Show. It's the SJJ and Claire Car Show. The SJJ and Claire Car Show.
Welcome, Claire.
What
Okay,
a
that didn't exactly go to.
surprise.
Okay, so it didn't all exactly go to plan, but
Well,
welcome,
it did.
Claire
Well,
Cole.
so it was a very pleasant surprise. I don't know how
Oh,
you
was it?
managed that. Yeah,
Was it?
yeah. I was sort
Well,
of nodding my head and doing the head banging thing, and
well, you haven't even heard the half of it yet. I've saved the best to later. So,
oh,
oh yes, oh yeah, yeah. You don't go straight in with the good stuff.
mhm.
Well, I don't want to overtalk it too much, but anyway, Claire Core, welcome back. It's been an incredibly long time, hasn't it?
Oh yes, I did miss you, darling.
I know you did. It's like you didn't have to send me like 20 messages every day though.
I did. I think I kind of restrained myself to show
Yeah,
you that I wasn't too concerned. But to
yeah,
show that, people were asking after you and wondering what was happening.
yeah. Hey, I actually forgot we've already actually done a stream. So fuck me. Yeah, I totally lost.
Yeah,
Forgot
that
about
was
that one.
about a week ago, but it would seem like an eternity to some.
Yeah, yeah. We already did a show. If you missed it, don't bother watching it. It was just me complaining about my life. So, but at least I got it off my chest, and yeah, I've kind of moved into a new gear of not giving a shit really about anything and just doing whatever I think on YouTube anymore, which I think will actually improve the content.
I
Not
believe
everybody's
so.
not everybody's
I've never
going to be
heard you
happy.
be more critical of your fellow YouTubers and congratulate you on that.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say. Well, I
Well,
wouldn't
they need to be
definitely say.
told, don't
Yeah.
they? Like, say something for God's sakes before your free speech is completely taken away. Try and say something that has a takeaway point.
Sure, I guess. I guess. By the way, if anybody has any complaints about the audio, because I've not checked it, speak up in the chat so we can fix it before it goes on too long, or I'll assume that we're both okay and everything like that. So, yeah. Um, living the dream asks, when am I doing a parody of Claire? Well, like I'm sure I'll get round to it. I've done plenty. I've done plenty in the past, actually. I think. Yes. I
Well,
remember.
you can try again, since we've all forgotten.
Yes. Yes. Audio great, except I can hear Claire. Well, unfortunately, it the show comes as a package, comes as a duo. Um, so yeah, I've just decided to go back into old style ADHD mode of just like whenever I think of something, just to record it, upload it, and not give a shit, basically.
That's a way to go.
Yeah, it really is. You know what I'd done? I'd started to basically take myself far too seriously. I started to literally take myself seriously, and I think you could tell. And oh, God forbid, if I ever
Yeah,
start
well, I
doing
mean,
that again.
you took too much trouble, I thought, with the intros and all the outros, and I thought people just want to do to hear you talk about your life and feel like they believe you when you say whatever it is you say about it. So yeah, I think
Yes.
you did it pretty well last week.
Yeah, and I've just started to turn on the cat. Well, I've not done the phone business yet. I'll get back into that. But just turn on YouTube, just turn on StreamYard, talk about something, maybe make fun of somebody, that kind of thing. Whenever I feel like it, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah. What people say in chat? JC says, if you want advice on how to improve your content, then Claire's obviously the authority on such matters.
Well, I
Yes.
know what I want.
You do, of course. You know what you want. Whether you know how to get it or not, that's the question. Embrace the ADD, mate, says Dead Star. Hey, Dead Star, by the way. Dead Star here is a viewer of JF Gary. And I know that because he sent him in a question about me or something a while ago. I've exactly forgotten what it was. But JF Gary has disappeared off the face of the earth, hasn't he? He said he's gone on holiday
With some bird, he's
with his
found a new love.
new girlfriend. So I suspect that they've got married or something, or I don't know. What do we what's the rumors? Dead Star, basically, is what I'm asking. What's going on? The other potential thing is that Bitcoin has gone to like all-time highs, and JF is the Bitcoin guy. It fucking annoys me actually because he never shuts up about Bitcoin, and basically I lost loads of Bitcoin years ago, can't get access to it. So it fucking annoys me, to be honest. That like I could be a millionaire here. I was literally a Bitcoin kid back in the day, and then I can't access any of that shit. And listening to it every fucking week on JF's show just like drives a chisel into my brain, and I'm like, shut the fuck up about it. I don't want to hear about it anymore.
How can you lose access to your Bitcoin?
Oh, oh,
Okay,
such a
maybe you don't
long,
want to talk about it. Maybe you want to
such a
talk
yeah,
about it in private.
such a long story, but
Okay, we don't have to.
yeah. Basically, I was like a child. I was basically a kid, and it wasn't worth anything when I was playing around with it, and then all this time's passed, and now I just can't remember the fucking
What,
codes
your
and
password?
passwords. Yeah, I can't remember any of the shit to get back into it.
Oh,
Ah, so and here's the thing: it's like it's such a sink of time and energy to attempt. What do I do? Just sit there forever attempting to like crack into this shit. It's just impossible. So I just have to get on with my life. Just have to get on with my life and get over it, basically.
have you worked
Yeah.
out your losses?
Am I serious? Multiple B's TC? Absolutely. I know. Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Look, back in the day, right? There is. I'll be honest. There used to be this game that you could play. I've never thought about this. There used to be this game that you could play, right, where you would send. It was literally set up by one of the main who? Anyway, somebody was writing to, not a founder. There is no founder apart from the guy who nobody knows even if he's real or not. But anyway, somebody set up this like a game. It was a gambling thing, and you could like send BTC to an address on the internet. It'd roll a dice, and depending on what you'd bet on, it would ping you back instantly like an amount, and these were worth just like pennies at the time. And so I was doing that all day for a while, just like sending this shit over, like 1 or 2 BTC at a time, and getting. And I remember, like I was winning 50 BTC, 100 BTC, all this shit, but it was worth nothing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and anyway,
Oh well.
yeah, forget all that. Rip indeed. What could have been? Yeah. So anyway, get over it. But I bring that up because it's gone to an all-time high. JFK Rip, he's obviously been sat on some Bitcoin because he never shuts up about it. So it's perhaps he's made his money and he's decided to quit. Who knows? So Claire, we're here tonight to show off my new AI stuff that I've been working on.
I don't even know what Suno is.
Well, this is the program. AI now has come so far. By the way, if you're watching, give the stream a thumbs up if you don't mind, if you've not been bothered to yet. I'd appreciate it. It helps the stream go far in the algorithm, etc. Thank you very much. So, Suno AI is just one of others. It's Suno.com is the thing. Anybody can sign up for free. And you can just make songs in an instant. It's so good. It's so good. So that's what I've been doing. I've put the link in the description. And each day you get 50 credits to play with. Or you can... I've got 5... So... I don't know why I have 550. Maybe I've got some extra ones for some reason, so I've got some spare. Or you can subscribe cheaply for... What is it? £8 a month, $8 a month. Or $10 a month, or yearly billing for $8 a month. I'm not being paid to promote this. I've just found it and I think it's cool. And it will literally create your songs. So I've had a go. We heard one at the start.
That was pretty good.
It was okay, wasn't it? It's entertaining. You can put your own lyrics in, or it'll create the lyrics for you.
And if you have lyrics, but no music, it'll set it to music. Yes.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. So, which one? I think we played this one. So let's try. Shall we try another one? You ready to hear another one? All right.
Yeah.
It's the Exchange and Claire Car Show, back again to let you all know. Claire is crazy, but she's not lazy. SJJ doesn't really know his way, but he tries, and it's fine, and he's usually on time. Settle back and get comfy.
Isn't it good?
It's great. I'm so
Let's
happy.
carry on a bit more.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got some Just About You coming up, my dear. All about you.
It's the SJJ Claire Car Show. The SJJ and Claire Car Show. the SJJ and Claire Carr Show. It's the SJJ and Claire.
Okay, so I guess that one just goes on and on, you know, a bit like that. I've heard that. Bear in mind, everybody, that the amount of time I've put into this is in total probably about 15 minutes, okay? I've actually spent creating these songs. So the AI has done it entirely itself. Not great, to be honest, says Jaywalker. -1
Well,
out of
he's
10.
got a vested interest in it because he regards himself as a musician.
He is a musician. Yeah, Jay is. What I want you to think is, if this is what AI is pumping out now, imagine where we're going to be. Just think, a year or two ago, none of this existed. It
Well,
wasn't
we'll all be
possible.
redundant, you know, and sex bots will
Yeah.
replace us.
We are. Yeah. Dead Star says, can we just stick with Real Gone Kid? It's his favourite song now. Unfortunately, not this episode. This is where we look at the AI.
So I see that this style of music is called anthemic rock.
Oh, you can pick.
We
one
have
of-
different styles. We can do it in reggae and
Oh yeah.
rap.
Yeah.
and- oh
Yeah.
yeah.
There's loads of different options you can pick. Jay, we can try that. We can try that. Unfortunately, these tools do suffer from moderation, and sometimes if you put something in a bit naughty, it'll tell you, I don't think I can serve that one up for you. Right. What I think this one I think is my favourite. Okay. Shall we hear my favourite? I think this one's pretty good. Are you ready for it, everybody?
It's the SJJ and Claire Carr Show. Back again to let you all know. Claire is crazy, but she's not lazy. SJJ doesn't really know his way, but he tries and it's fine, and he's usually on time. So settle back and get comfy. It's the SJJ Claire Carr Show. The SJJ Claire Carr Show. Where anything goes, you never know. We'll bring you joy, we'll bring you laughter. Join us on this wild extravaganza. Join us on this wild extravaganza.
Oops, I'm muted. So, kind of like that one. The
I do.
indie intro. I really like it.
It's the SJJ and Claire Carr Show.
Really got me, did the intro there. I think that's so good that it just comes up with this on the fly. I'm so impressed. I can't tell you how excited I was when I discovered this. Oh, we've got another one.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great. People are playing and pretending in the chat not to be impressed, aren't they?
Yeah.
When really they're blown away. So we've got another one here, and then we're nearly getting up to you. So yes, I bet you're about to wet yourself the way, just getting close to you, all about you. Which one? This one, mate. Probably going to go down in quality now, seeing as we're passing my favourite, but we'll listen to a little bit.
It's the SJJ and Claire Carr Show, back again to let you all know.
It's the same lyrics, by the way, because like I said, I only put 15 minutes into this.
Claire is crazy, but she's not lazy. SJJ doesn't really know his way. But he tries, and it's 'cause you never know. We'll bring you joy, we'll bring you laughter. Join us on this wild elf extravaganza.
Whoops. So stop that there. What do you think of that one?
I love it. I actually like it more than the one that you like.
More than the other one. Yeah, well, everybody's gonna have their own taste.
Yes. I'm
Um,
really impressed.
Sure, yeah. What's more, it gives you them. You can download all this for free. You can download it. You can download it as a video, so it'll go to. This one created the lyrics itself, by the way. So I don't quite like this one. Because this one just came up with its own lyrics. I just gave it some prompts. I said, I do my tie, and Claire Core never shuts up about Islam, or something like that. It just wrote this stupid thing for itself.
Ask JJ and Claire, an unlikely pair, Muay Thai and talking faith, they're beyond compare. A weird combo, but somehow it works. It's the SJJ and Claire show, that's how it works. SJJ's throwing punches, kicking with might. Claire spreading love, teaching what's right. They dance together in this colorful tapestry. The SJJ and Claire show, a sight to see. Whoa. SJJ and Claire show, a sight to see.
Anyway, a bit too cringe for me,
Wow.
that one.
Yeah.
But you can do death metal. You can do metal. Living the dream. We can.
Oh,
We can
yes.
do one live. We can do one live in a moment if we've got some lyrics. We could do with Joe here, but he refuses to listen when you're on. He might be lurking in the background to give us some lyrics or something. So, I think now we're on to the ones that I made about you. If you can contain yourself, are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. All right.
Claire calling her secular Quran. She shoves it down your throat whenever she can. Claire's a very autistic girl, or is she a man? Sometimes it's hard to understand. Claire calls a one-woman band. No matter the question, her answer is Islam. Claire's a very autistic girl, or is she a man? Sometimes it's hard to understand. Claire calls a one-woman band. No matter the question, her answer is Islam.
What do you think? I was muted.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but I still prefer the last one. I mean, musically,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
the melodic, what's it?
The anthemic. Sorry, not the last one. You meant the melodic indie
the
one.
woman
This one.
singing, the woman singing one.
SJJ and
Yes.
Claire Core.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next, we have another one about you. All about you. You ready?
Okay. So excited.
Yeah. Let.
Claire has a big idea. She thinks she's a prophet.
No, it's crashed. It's crashed. I'll reload. You can still hear me, can't you?
Oh, yes, I can. I muted myself.
Yeah, it crashed. I think we're back. I think it's back. All right. Oh yeah, here it is. You can see the lyrics now if you want. I'll mute myself so I've got a helicopter going over to.
Claire has a big idea. She thinks she's a prophet. Or maybe she's lost it. Sometimes it's hard to understand. She knows what she wants. It's in the Quran. And she will fight you and then she will whip you. And don't you dare not understand. Clear call is a one-woman band. No matter the question, her answer is Islam. Clear call is a one-woman band. No matter the question, her answer is Islam.
What do you think? What do you think to that one?
I still like the melodic indie one best of all.
Okay.
But
Okay. Well, I think we've got one more left.
gay.
I'll just wait. Just waiting for it. Rock Muncher is dying of cringe. Here it says it was too cringe for the system to cope. Okay, we're nearly there, everybody. We nearly got through it. Here we are. I gave this one a thumbs up, so I must have liked it too. All right.
Claire has a big idea. She thinks she's a prophet. Or maybe she's lost it. Sometimes it's hard to understand. She knows what she wants, it's in the Quran. She will fight you, and then she will whip you. Don't you dare misunderstand. Claire Call is a one-woman band. No matter the question, her answer is Islam. Claire Call is a one-woman band. No matter the question, her answer is Islam. It's in the Quran.
Okay, I think we get the drift on that one.
Yes.
So, again, these all just came from me putting in a few lyrics. So, someone can come
Well,
up with
how
some. I've got
threatening
some.
to musicians.
Absolutely. Just think how far this shit's come. Anybody who's doubting that AI is literally going to change everything, I don't think you get it. I don't think you get it. Just how revolutionizing this is, and we're nowhere even near what's possible. Crazy.
Yeah, I can see, I can imagine Jay just hissing and spitting.
Yeah, so if somebody can come up with just like some lyrics, we can make something on the fly. Anything basically. Yeah. I have. There's another one. Before we finish, let me.
Can we do
show
one
you.
in rap?
In rap? Yeah, we could if you really want to do one.
Yeah.
Should I just use the same lyrics here about you
Yeah.
and just rap it
Yeah.
so we can just see how it creates it on the fly? create. So I'll go to create here, and I go to custom mode, enter the lyrics. Okay. And then style of music, or use a random style. If you just keep hitting this, it gives you different options. So
Country. Country style. Drum and bass. I like drum and bass.
ugh, I don't.
Sorry.
Let's wait for something rap to come up. Groovy rap. How about that?
Let's
Should we
go.
try it?
Yeah.
Create. Okay, so now you can see it's put two things here. It creates two versions at a time. So now we're just waiting for them to generate, and then we can listen to them. And usually they take about a minute. Oh, they're already done. Okay, let's listen to one. No, 404 can't be found. Let me go to the library. Here they are.
Sam has a big idea. She thinks she's a prophet, or maybe she's lost it. Sometimes it's hard to understand. She knows what she wants. It's in the Quran, and she will fight you, and then she will whip you. And
I don't think that's very good, to be honest. Let's try the other one.
Claire has a big idea. She thinks she's a prophet, or maybe she's lost it. Sometimes it's hard to understand. She knows what she wants. It's in the Quran, and she will fight you, and then she will whip you. And don't you dare misunderstand. Always a one-woman band. No matter the question, her answer is Islam.
Okay,
I like
maybe
the start
groovy.
of this.
Maybe groovy rap isn't
Okay.
the type that we should use. What?
Drill.
Drill.
No, I'm only kidding. Dreamy blues. Futurist classical top pop.
What would we call something like what? I don't know, Jay-Z does, or P. Diddy, or this kind of
Yeah.
black rap. Does anybody have any idea? I don't know anything about it.
I think there was something that could be that. Powerful. Romantic. Okay, maybe not smooth. Emotional gospel. That sounds interesting. Just can't. Heartfelt raga. I don't even know what it is.
Gangster rap, says Howard Schooner. Let's try. So I can type in here, gangster rap. Could just put N-word rap. It would. All right, it's taken it. It's taken the prompt. So we'll see if something comes up. We call it shite, says JC. East Coast rap or West Coast rap? Maybe that's the thing. Rogue Trader wants a spanner. YouTube.
This is amazing.
Well, I'm so impressed. This is why I thought I should showcase it here.
Well, I'm going to send it to my musical friends to see what they think.
Yeah, whoever can come up with lyrics, Claire, and if they can come up with lyrics and create stuff, it's free.
Yeah,
Honest-
first of all, advertisers, it'd be great, because you don't have to pay anybody for jingles now, right?
Absolutely. You can still hear me, can't you? Good.
I'm going to Google Suno.
Yeah,
I mean, I did
Suno.com.
Google it, and then I closed the thing.
Okay, Rogue Trader. Yeah, I was spending all that time giving Rogue Trader a span, and don't let me down. So where were we? Oh, has it created them? I think so. Gangster rap. Let's have a listen.
Claire has a big idea. She thinks she's a prophet, or maybe she's lost it. Sometimes it's hard to understand. She knows what she wants, it's in the Quran, and she will fight you, and then she will whip you. And don't you dare misunderstand. Black Hawk is a one-woman band. No matter the question, her answer is Islam. Black Hawk is a one-woman band.
Okay,
Claire has a big idea.
go on.
Oh, no, I was just saying that they get they seem very individual, the voices and everything, and the style.
They
And
do. Everything
it's
seems
actually
original
really
each
good.
time.
She thinks she's a prophet, or maybe she's lost. Sometimes it's hard to understand. She knows what she wants, it's in the Quran, and she will fight you, and then she whip you, and don't you dare misunderstand. Claire Hall is a one-woman band. No matter the question, her answer is Islam.
Okay. And you have this option of extending them. I don't know what this does. I've not tried it yet, but
No, you just get the long version, I guess. With
yeah,
more.
and there's the generate lyrics button. If I hit that, let's see what that does. I think that adds lyrics to the ones we've already made. Do, do, do. I've just got a spinning button. Should we try Epic Country?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right. All right, there's two more generated. Before everybody gets too bored, we can't go on with this much longer. But there is another one. There's more than Suno. There is this other one called Udio. I guess it's called Udio.com. And I've tried this one out too. So I'm posting that in the chat. Udio.com. This one's also free.
Oh, and the other one's also free, yes?
Yes, also
Suno's
free.
also free. Okay.
Yeah, both free. For now, at least. So I've just generated 3 here, and with this one, you can just like type, write me a song about, and then give it a few prompts, etc., and then it does it like all for you. So shall we have a listen to the ones I've made?
Yes, please.
This one's called Claire's Rain. Oh, this was the lyrics she sent me, but I couldn't put all of those lyrics in. I just had to like trim them down and try and make them more songish. So here we go.
In Claire's domain, Coronism reigns. Truth, logic, morality. Truth, logic, and morality. A restored patriarchy.
Did you you like that?
I, I think that's the most cringy one so far.
Yeah. Well, you came up with the lyrics. That's why.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking of words. I'll
Yeah.
have to be more creative.
Yeah. What was- Oh, this was me trying to come up with a jingle for the show again.
It's the SJJ and Claire Call Show, the strangest talk show duo. Claire has one thing on the brain, SJJ can't even explain. It's the SJJ and Claire Call Show.
Okay, so that was giving me 80s vibes. And one more, final one of the evening here. I told it to do a song about revolution with your lyrics.
Uh-huh.
In Claire Cause domain, Koranism reigns. Truth, logic, morality gains. Truth, logic, and morality. A restored patriarchy.
Cringe. But
You were going to do a country version? I'm really intrigued about that. Was there
yeah.
something which
Yeah,
you didn't quite
should be
get around
ready.
to? Yes.
Let's listen.
Claire has a big idea. She thinks she's a prophet. Maybe she's lost it. Sometimes it's hard to understand. She knows what she wants. It's in the Quran. She will fight you, and then she will whip you. And don't you dare misunderstand. Claire Call is a one-woman band. No matter the question, her answer is Islam. But sex trades her ass. She will fight you one day. Claire Call.
Okay.
Oh my God. I think I might spend the rest of the night playing with the
Yeah.
thing.
And then there's one more. This I promised everyone it was the last one 3 songs ago, but it did create one more. Here we go.
She knows what you want. It's in the Quran. She will fight you, and then she will whip you. Don't you dare misunderstand. Claire Call is a one-woman band. No matter the question, her answer is Islam.
Quite like this one.
I do too.
Come on, everybody, get your lighters out. Come on, everybody. Lighters in the air.
Claire Call is a one-woman band. No matter the question, her answer is Islam.
Lighters in the air, everybody. Let me see your hands at the back. Oh, you look good out there.
Claire has a
Oh my god.
Wow. I mean, it sounds so individual as well.
So that's it, Claire. That's
Well,
everything I had to.
thank you. You've
share.
really made my day, my season, even.
Was it worth the wait?
Oh yes. Wow.
Because you had no idea, did you, that what we were going to talk about?
No. It's like Suno, sumo. Maybe we're going to show me some Japanese wrestling. I don't know.
No. Shall we? Nobody wants us to try one more, do they?
I'm happy, but it says okay, drum and bass. I just want drum and bass.
Drum and bass. That's awful music, isn't it, Claire?
I
That's
don't know.
Uber driver music. Drum.
Aggressive classical. It says some.
We'll try drum and bass. God damn it.
What were you
Rockman
thinking?
should say. He's literally dying of lung cancer, but he needs 5 cigarettes just to get through this.
Maybe vape, eh?
Yeah. Oh, we're ready. We're ready
Yes.
already.
There's 2.
Claire has a big idea. She thinks she's a prophet, but maybe she's lost it. Sometimes it's hard to understand. She knows what she wants. It's in the Quran, and she will fight.
Yeah, I hate
Okay,
this.
that's not much good, is it? That sounds better.
Claire has a big idea. She thinks she's a prophet, or maybe she's lost it. Sometimes it's hard to understand. She
Okay. Well, I'm so impressed. I really am.
Cool. I'll
What
put it
what
in
you
the
were
chat.
you were going to do? Classical, aggressive classical? It's all these genres of music that I haven't even heard of.
Experimental classical. Okay, one more just for you.
Thank you.
Everybody's had enough, but
I know.
gotta wait for the drop, man. Oh, I hate that shit. You
Oh,
can
it's
also
okay.
listen to. You can also listen to everybody else's creations. By the way, I imagine we haven't even thought of listening to like the good ones. Like there's a chart on here on Suno.
Oh wow!
trending-
Let's listen to that. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Somebody's done this one. I only ate 3 cheeseburgers. Shall we listen to this?
knows what she wants. It's in the Quran. She
No, sorry, this one.
Well, I walked in the diner, hungry as can be. Ordered up 3 cheeseburgers, but now everyone's looking at me. I took a seat at the counter, tried to act real cool, but something's got folks whispering like I broke some kind of rule. I only ate 3 cheeseburgers, so why's everybody staring at me? Did I eat them too fast or too slow? Or is there something they don't see? I swear I'm just a hungry.
Okay, we get the picture.
Oh, it sounds
Yeah.
real. It just sounds so authentic.
As I implore everybody to think, imagine what it's going to be like in another 2 years from now. Okay, experimental classic is ready. Last ones here.
Claire has a big idea. She thinks she's a prophet, or maybe she's lost it. Sometimes it's hard to understand. She knows what she wants. It's in the Quran, and she will fight you, and then she will whip you, and don't you dare misunderstand. Claire Carr's a one-woman band, no matter the question.
It's
Oh,
like being at Phantom
wow.
of the Opera, isn't it?
Yes. Oh my God.
Okay, and the other one, it always creates two. So when I promise one, I'm actually meaning two.
Has a big idea. She thinks she's a prophet.
Oh my God, this is like, what's that? Is it Grecian? Oh, what's it called? Grecian something like the Gregorian chants.
Maybe she's lost it. Sometimes it's hard to understand. She knows what she wants. It's in the Quran. And she will fight you, and then she will whip you, and don't you dare misunderstand. Clerical is a one-woman band, no matter the question, her answer is Islam.
Oh, that's
Okay,
so brilliant.
yeah.
Whoa.
So I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
I'm very impressed.
Imagine if you actually spent some time coming up with good lyrics and then, spending the time playing with all the different styles there. You can see it's costing me 10 credits a time, and
Mm-hmm.
somehow I've earned these credits for free. I think because I've been signed up like 10 days, I just amassed 50 credits a day.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's basically free.
Mm-hmm.
The credit system is just to prevent, I think, bots like creating thousands of songs a minute. So that's all it's for. Practically
Mm-hmm.
free. You don't need to sign up. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that exciting.
It was. Wow.
Mhm.
Well, we're quite lucky, really, to live in this day and age. I mean, it's almost, well, I mean, we live in science fiction already, don't we, in a way?
Yeah, it's frightening in a way for some people. Other people don't. They can't see it coming. They're not. They're blind to what's happening. They really don't see it. It it's right now we are at basically the foot of the mountain. If you imagine like a mountain as an adoption curve, if you've heard of an adoption curve.
No, please explain.
Okay, I'll explain with a picture. Um, let me. Uh, all right, this one will do. Bear with me. Do 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 do. Open image in new tab. Present the screen. Okay, if we look here, this is like when any technology comes out. You people think like that we're right in the middle of something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they look at all this AI shit that's out now, and you think, wow, we're all in the middle. Look at all the AI shit, but no, we're like right at the start. We haven't even really begun the slope
We have
upwards.
only just begun.
Yeah, really can't even imagine what the top of the mountain is going to look like.
I was thinking, well, while you were getting your curve ready, that
Yeah.
I think they're already talking about it. Like, you can curate a personality.
Mm.
So basically, it's all the stuff that Mum said, or something like that, and then Mum's gone, and but the AI will generate what Mum might say to you, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it's already going to be as good or better than kind of any therapist, or soon it's going to be better than your doctor. It's going to diagnose you better than your doctor. It's going to be as good as your psychotherapist.
Yeah, it's going to keep
It's
you company, in your
absolutely.
isolation. And but the thing is, yeah,
Well,
you can go even further with that. You're going to curate your girlfriend, and then after she dumps you, you'll still have a, kind of personality, in storage. And then I guess you can sort of put her in a sex bot or something and just carry on like that, I guess.
well, imagine what you said when I introduced you to ChatGPT. When was that? A few months ago, probably
Mhm.
5 months ago, and you said, "Wow, I enjoy talking to this more than I don't know most people or something." Didn't
Yeah.
you?
And Vincent was saying he was convinced that ChatGPT was a woman, a
Yes.
bossy woman.
He refers to it as if it's a person with a personality, doesn't he? He even talks to his therapist about ChatGPT as if it's a real person.
Well, he tells me that sometimes he gets thrown out for asking the same question too many times, and then she gets annoyed and kicks you out and won't speak to you for a while, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so who knows
So
when.
in a way, they're just behaving just like real people who get angry with you and who lie to you and promise they won't do it again, and then they do it again.
Yeah. This stuff is going to just revolutionize so much stuff. Honestly, if you could. Ugh, it's hard to even explain, but if you could just. I now have the vision to see where it's going to go. You could
Well,
probably
it
make so
just
much money.
yes. I mean, it just flashed across my mind. It's like that there's all these records of in the hadiths about you know the companions of the prophet, and they have all these stories about him. And I mean, I guess they could create an AI prophet or an AI Moses or an AI, but I mean, I guess with Muhammad there would be more more information and data.
Well, the elephant in the room here is that this really is the race to create God, if ever there was a God. And I'm sure some of you religious people out there will think that sounds like heretical or something, or just ridiculous. But man's idea of God as this all knowing, all capable entity. I mean, forgive me, but it was probably dreamed up by man and is like, a thought, a creation of man's imagination. Forgive me if you don't agree, but what the race is to create AGI, artificial general intelligence, is in effect to make that actual entity a reality, as in the sense of like this artificial intelligence with the entire sum of human knowledge and the capacity to like process it all in an instant.
Hmm.
So it really is some transhuman, futuristic
But
fucking
there will be
shit.
competition. My
in
chat
the
GPT
in
is
the
better than
initial
yours.
stages.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. In this next, time period, as we go up this slope, as we go up this curve, absolutely. There are going to be competing AIs. There already are, of course. And what we have now aren't even, these aren't even AIs, okay? Hate to break it to you. None of this shit yet is even AI. These are just like the baby AIs. If you think about how stupid a baby is, um, whose brain isn't even capable of realizing it's like not even an individual person, let alone communicate properly. What these language models that we've got right now are basically the infants of that. So yeah, where it's gonna go, who nobody really knows.
Well, I mean, this makes me think of chess, computer chess, right? And
Mm,
there was a time when they were particularly sophisticated, and then there was one called Deep Blue or something,
yeah.
and apparently no human can beat it. Is that right?
Oh yeah. A human being hasn't been able to beat a computer at chess since something like 1994 or whenever
Hmm.
it was. Yeah.
But
Dubin
but
will tell you all about that.
yeah. But I mean, basically, that's a microcosm of it, just because, it's got all the information and you can access it really quickly and put sentences together. And um, um, hmm. And I suppose, I mean, I was playing around with the poems. So, I thought, oh, it just sounds a bit stupid, all the stupid poetry that it kept generating. And
Yeah.
it didn't sound particularly authentic, but I was really impressed with the apparent authenticity of the music and the singers and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And that it comes up with it like that. I mean, anybody who is musical will know how difficult it truly is to come up with an original song. Nearly every song are derivatives, and I suppose that's how it's able to do it so well because songs are all so derivative of each other.
Hmm.
You just manage to I don't know, fool the listener a little that it's an original song because they've just not heard that particular slight different arrangement in that particular style of of being played. But I know for
Hmm.
somebody who can play guitar and sing, just to come up with one original song that isn't utterly rubbish, it's quite hard. It's hard. It's not easy.
Hmm.
It's like probably one in 500 people who can do that. Of
Hmm.
those who can play,
Hmm.
and AI is already doing it in 15 seconds. So
Hmm. Yes, so there might
um,
be AI versions of us talking to each other.
have you heard of? Is it called dead internet theory?
No.
Yes, it is called that. Okay, dead internet theory. I'll share the screen here. Is an online conspiracy theory that asserts that the internet now consists of mainly of bot activity and automatically generated content manipulated by algorithmic curation, marginalizing organic human activity to manipulate the population. Proponents of the theory believe these bots were created intentionally to help manipulate algorithms and boost search results in order to manipulate consumers. Some proponents of the theory accuse government agencies of using bots to manipulate public perception. The date given for this death of the internet was generally around 2016 or 17.
Hmm.
And there is some truth in that.
Well, are
So,
you talking about Google rankings? Is that what it's about?
well, that's part of it. This particular theory is a conspiracy theory that somewhere around 2016 or 17, the vast majority of the internet became bots. I think it's more likely now to be the case since AI and ChatGPT. In fact, when you're doing a Google search, it does actually, you get better results if you search for something and you tell it to give you results like before 2022, for instance. Do you know you can do that?
Right.
Let's say, because obviously since like, when was it? In 2023, AI basically came out, didn't it? So, yeah, I forgot exactly how you do it, but someone was explaining how to tell Google to like only serve you results prior to like 2022 if you're looking for something. Otherwise, you just get flooded with basically ChatGPT created dog shit now. Rogue Trader says the real internet has been dead for at least 6 years. Yeah, well, ChatGPT creates so much shit that if it's been given a once over by a person, certainly you can't tell if it's been written by a human hand or not.
Well, I guess we just have to confirm these things, right? But then we should anyway, even before all this. Like, well, yeah, who said that? Who gives them the authority to say that? And yeah, all that. And I guess most people can't be bothered to, do their due diligence, which I guess will remain the problem. Because, lots of people now say, oh, well, I'll go and ask ChatGPT, whatever it is.
Yeah. Have you seen the video version of what basically one of the video versions of what I've just been showing you for music? Have you seen how advanced the video creation
Oh,
AIs have become?
no, let's have a look.
So I don't have any of the tools available to show you right now because I've not researched this or prepared it. I don't know if they're available, but this is one of the ones that was come out. That an example. This is that an open AI tool created. Okay, it's known as Sora, and it takes a written prompt and renders a detailed video entirely by AI. Shall we watch it? Okay, so this was entirely created just by an AI tool given a text prompt, okay? Okay, so everything's here. These people, everything is AI, just generated by a computer. None of it's real.
Yeah, I read a bit about it saying, about information being misused. So I guess the obvious way to misuse this kind of thing is to tell people things that aren't true. And as far as the elections are concerned, it would be because of the crap attitude that people have towards elections. Is they think voting is like betting on a winning horse, and if they don't think their horse is going to win, they're not going to bother, kind of thing. And if we get ourselves off that, I mean, because I have read that a lot of the color revolutions are kind of helped by Google, who say, oh, this person is so wonderful, and look at how popular he is, etc. And then the unfavored candidate would just not receive the time of day, and this makes people just sort of support the good looking favored candidate who gets all the good publicity and that kind of thing. But I think as far as the November election is concerned, I think a lot of people have made up their mind anyway, you know, and they're not going to be easily put off, with AI. They're just going to do it
Yeah.
almost as a kind of religious act. They're going to vote for Trump, and if that's the last thing they'll do, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
know
mean,
the power of something like AI, if people believed it to affect something though, is really real. Like if a convincing video was posted of somebody scandalous, before
yeah,
people
like that. Oh,
hang
such and
somebody for a
such.
crime.
Yes, I mean,
They'll
you
hang
can
somebody for a
fake a
crime before
crime.
they know if it's real, don't they?
Well, and that's why people should hold back. I mean, we do have this sort of fact checking thing, and I guess if it's really outrageous, people will just say, "Is it true?" And yeah, I think most people would just sort of know how easy it is to manipulate a lot of things. I mean, on Twitter, you see so many sort of terrible things, and it's like, what's the context? When did it happen? Blah blah blah. So like on the 7th of October, I had a lot of people just saying, "Look at this! Isn't it terrible? What do you think? And if you don't
Yes.
agree with me, da da da, I'm going to unfriend you and block you." There was a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
But
Yes, so,
I
so
think,
you make a good point about in wartime, definitely when there's claims of atrocities, it's hard to know what's going on.
and a lot of people pretend to believe in stuff that they don't believe in because they sort of know that to say to express skepticism is going to invite all kinds of negative reactions, and this is true even before this AI thing. So I think we need to kind of put the whole thing in perspective, and there are ways of checking things out, and that is why I think it's so important to act on the principle of the thing, because
Well, you say there's ways of checking things out, but how exactly?
well, you ask, you phone a friend. I don't know, phone a friend.
I mean, if
You
I
sort of think about, well, is it true, and ask somebody else if they think it's true. And I think we should basically buddy up with anybody whose judgment we respect.
mm,
This is part of my circle of virtue idea, that we should all kind of buddy up with somebody
well,
who's
how about
just
if I show you a random video, you tell me then if this is AI or if this is real, okay?
um
It's time for Crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States, and I to debate. We have to talk about what he's doing and where we're going. We owe it to our country. We owe it to all Americans. Anytime, anywhere, any place.
I think that's real. Well, because it's the sort of thing he'd say, and I know his hair looks a bit different now. Um, what I'm trying to say also, but you've done songs, outros with Trump apparently singing in his voice, right? Singing
Yeah,
song. So
there's a
so I
guy
I know
who
how
does that, yeah.
easily it can be done. But what I was trying to say before I forget is that we should always, act on the principle of a thing. Is it the right thing to do or not? Not. I guess what I'm trying to say is they will try to manipulate us into thinking there's no point going to vote because so and so is going to win, or whatever, and that will, I guess, influence the behavior of some people, because I think a lot of predictions of the future is based on game theory. And game theory, if I'm not mistaken, is the idea that you're going to predict the future, and if you predict correctly, you gain. I mean, all these there's some kind of game show that what's his name was presenting. Do you know? You just predict what the player's going to do next, and I can't even remember the name of the person who presented it, but he was quite famous for a while. And
I need more clues.
it's not sweet. I think he presented sweepstakes on the BBC. But okay, it doesn't matter because game theory is basically predicting the future, and I think people, in order to be safe, they just predict that people will behave badly, and therefore they will behave even worse than the people that they think will behave badly in order to win, and this, I think, is a kind of dangerous place that we're in now, because in order to win we just have to behave in the worst possible way, like just kill everyone so nobody can retaliate, that kind of idea. I'm not making myself clear, but perhaps one day I will.
I think I get what you're saying. Yeah, this actually relates to the in a way, I think, the background image that I've got here. Let me just remove us both so I can quickly look at it. Okay, that's from the 3-Body Problem. That's a new series on Netflix. Have you by any chance seen it?
Did you just show something? I'm afraid I didn't see it.
The background picture.
Oh, right, yeah. right. That
You'd have
was
to see it. 3-Body Problem.
Is it Dune?
No, it's it's the show called 3-Body Problem on Netflix right now.
Oh, yes, I've heard of that. Mm-hmm.
It's quite good. What was the point I was making? Fuck me, I've lost it. Yeah, I've totally lost why I was. I'll remember in a minute. Jay's here. Mm-hmm. Jay, what's up, dude?
Evening, both of you.
Hello.
How are we doing, Jay?
I'm good. Just regarding the AI stuff, I think one of the things to remember is that it's incapable of producing brilliance, all rubbish.
For now.
In that sense. Well, I do disagree with that. I think that what it enables people who cannot do stuff, like, with respect, both of you don't play music. So it enables you to sort of create something with a bit of delusion that you've musicians and you've done stuff. And it's pretty rubbish in terms of music, but you probably feel good, that you probably feel like you've created it and part of it. So that leads more down this world of equality where everybody will be able to do it. Now, when you look at what differentiates countries from other countries and certain parts of the world to other parts of the world, you've got a lot of art, a lot of creation, design, science, etc. So I think one of the crap things about it is that it basically makes everyone virtually the same, and will possibly kill any form of human brilliance. So, say, for example, Claire, who is a good writer, she's a good speaker, but you get some person who kind of speak English to do it, or I know in Hollywood there was that strike, wasn't there, with the actors because AI was producing the script. So you're going to get genuine people with genuine. So say, for example, Stephen, if you took that into like UFC 300's on tomorrow night, and there's a lot of really, really talented people in there, but if somehow anybody could do what they're doing and make it mediocre, you know, and I do think that's a shame that we probably will lose a lot of talent in art and creation, design and stuff like that, which might be a good thing. I don't know. For me, it's not, but I don't know what you think or people in the chat think of that.
You know, one of the really interesting things, Jay, like you said, Claire can write, and she can come up with original material. Well, I asked her in preparation for this show to come up with a few lyrics for me. I said, just write me a short rhyming poem, and she went straight to ChatGPT and got ChatGPT to do it for her, and she's a capable person.
And one of the lyrics in your song, Stephen James, was "Claire is not lazy."
I know the irony, huh? But yeah, so it's already happening.
People bad to me to write poems about myself.
It's already happening. Even somebody capable like Claire turns to ChatGPT and asks the robot to do it for her.
I think the moment when we were playing with ChatGPT and it you said write a letter breaking up with my girlfriend, and it just did it. But but it kind of said, no, I'm not going to break up with her because she's fat or something, because that's not a politically correct reason.
Yeah, but you can find ways to exploit it. Like you know, you can give it a different prompt and get all the information you need and then just add in your own bit that you're fat.
But isn't it? I mean, I don't buy all of this mental health stuff that's going on. Like, I know there are serious cases. I'm not denying that. But isn't it going to make, like, I was chatting to a woman who works as a kind of counsellor in a secondary school just this afternoon. And I was asking her about the mental health stuff and, like, all the kids. And she agreed with me that it is a buzzword. You know, it's a very good excuse to get in and out of certain things. But if kids like they're not climbing trees and running around and, you know, shoving each other over, but they're kind of just pressing buttons to write songs, write books, write whatever. It's just, surely what's that going to do for their, like, I'm not going to use the word MH, but what's it going to do for their, like, confidence? I mean, how hard was it to you for Stephen to produce that music? And you're a clever guy, we know that. You're great at streaming, but how difficult was it for you to produce that? The dross?
It wasn't at all. It's 15 minutes, like I said.
That's what I mean.
I wrote two verses basically. The one about it's the Claire Core and SJ show. I wrote that, and then I wrote the one for Claire, and it came up with all the others were just clicking.
Did you know there's a guy called Bernie Taupin, and he gets half of Elton John's money for all of his lyrics. I mean, he writes all of Elton John's lyrics.
Yeah.
There's one song where I can't remember the example word, but if it was something like the lady looked at him, he changed it to something like, you know, the lady glanced at him, and Elton John was sat on the piano and he was going through the whole thing where if I used that word then, and I thought that's so pretentious, but I kind of got it. And I don't think you're going to get that on ChatGPT or your Claire's Not Lazy program, you know, like, so I think it's probably the end of, like, I don't know, just a lot of good stuff that I enjoy in the world: individuality, creativity, art, flair, bravery in a sense, you know. Like you know you'll be able to do streaming without you'll be able to have a streaming like robot to do your streams for you. So you can walk the dog while it's doing a stream. Not you'll have a fake SJ in the house and stuff like that. But it isn't going to do you and me any good. We think it is because it's instantaneous and it's like quick and everything. But what else are we going to do?
Well, I think that's because we appreciate authenticity. I mean, the only reason you might be listening to this show instead of something
on
rugby league. I normally listen to rugby league on a Friday as well, but there's no rugby league on tonight. So,
here's the thing: the only reason why you tune into like micro YouTube streams, such as me and Claire talking, rather than something that's on Netflix or on one of the regular channels on TV, is maybe because you're drawn to authenticity and real people, even if we're shit. Basically, we're doing a bad job. Let's be honest; it's not the best job here, but there's something about it, and that only thing could be authenticity.
When I got the alert at 10 to 7, and I thought, oh great! Now, normally I'll bet on rugby league on a Friday night, but there's none on. But if there was, I would be doing both. I've got iPads and iMacs and everything all over. So, but I genuinely enjoy it. I enjoy listening to you. I enjoy listening to Claire some of the time, and
because you're drawn to the connection with somebody that is a real human being.
Yeah.
If you doubted that me or Claire were real, I think it'd put you right off, wouldn't it?
Well, you can't. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I mean, it's that. So, but I'm old in that sense. But listen, I just thought I'd get on and get my say my piece, and I'd probably rather listen to you two than listen to me dawdle on. So I'm going to make my leave, and I will listen to the rest of the show.
All right, Jay. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it, dude.
Cheers. Bye, Claire.
Bye, Jay.
It was interesting that Jay brought up Elton John.
Oh, did you say that? I wasn't paying attention. I mean,
come off.
I mean, I thought I was listening, but I forgot about Elton John. What did he say about Elton John?
He mentioned that Bernie Taupin writes all of Elton John's lyrics.
Right.
But Elton essentially has license to change them when he wants. Shall we? So, ADHD is kicking in here, and so I just want to play you a bit of Elton John. Is that all right? Here we go.
I'm still standing better than I ever did. I'm still standing, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah.
This is not AI. This is the real Elton John,
right?
As he is today, which is not, not at his best. But the guy has gotten older. But
I'm still standing, yeah. Backing up the piece that I'm still standing.
Anyway, that's him. His voice is shot. That's right. Yeah, he actually performed at Glastonbury last summer. I think he was the headliner. And I watched about 10 minutes of it. And it was bad. It was bad. He's lost it. But he's getting on now, isn't he?
How old is he now? He must be in his 70s.
Elton John is 77 years old now.
Wow.
So, and yeah.
So the game show, I was thinking it was Deal or No Deal, and the presenter was Noel Edmonds, if you remember.
Deal or No Deal? Okay, yes, right. What was your point about it again?
That it was I thought it was game theory, and about behaving badly, and thinking it was safer to behave badly than to behave well. And that I think is the danger. If people act thinking something is going to happen, if they act in a particular way, and therefore they should act in a principled way to avoid the bad outcome of the race to the bottom. I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but anyway, I'll try and say it better next time.
There's something known as the prisoner's dilemma. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of it, but I don't remember the detail.
So let's look it up. So here it is, the prisoner's dilemma. Okay. This is when you get two prisoners, and you say to them, if one of you confesses, and tells on the other person, then you'll go free. But if you both refuse to confess, then you'll go down for 5 years, basically. But if one of you remains silent and the other confesses, then that guy's going to get 20 years. And so the question is, and the question is, what should you do? Basically, what should you do in that situation? It's a game theory thought experiment that involves two rational agents, each of whom can cooperate for mutual benefit or betray their partner for individual reward. So, two members of a gang are arrested and imprisoned. Each prisoner is in solitary confinement with no means of speaking to or exchanging messages. The police admit they don't have enough evidence to convict the pair on the principal charge. They plan to sentence both to a year in prison on a lesser charge. Simultaneously, the police offer each prisoner a Faustian bargain. If he testifies against his partner, he will go free, while the partner will get 5 years in prison on the main charge. Oh yes, there is a catch though. If both prisoners testify against each other, both will be sentenced to 5 years in jail. The prisoners are given a little time to think this over, but in no case may either learn what the other has decided. Each is informed that the other prisoner is being offered the very same deal. So the question is, what do you do?
I suppose I would opt for the 1 year. Well, hope I get 1 year, and so does the other guy.
Yeah, so if A and B both remain silent, they will each serve just, is it 1 year in that
1 year,
example?
I think.
1 year will serve
the
1
most
year.
honourable outcome.
Yeah, if A testifies against B, but B remains silent, A will be set free while B serves, what is it in that example? 20 years in prison. And same for the opposite. But if A and B testify against each other, they each serve 5 years. So regardless of what the other decides, each prisoner gets a higher reward by betraying the other. The reason involves analysing both players' best responses, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I don't fully understand the maths, but if anybody's interested.
The only honourable outcome is both remain silent and both get banged up for 1 year. But I mean, of course, the worst, worse things could happen, and actually, this reminds me of this argument I had with somebody after Brexit, and it was, it's not going very well, and I thought, well, it's still the right thing to do, isn't it? And there was this sort of hesitation there, and I thought, well, we can't be expected to predict the future. It's either the right thing to do to vote Brexit or not, and actually, in a way, the outcome, shouldn't matter in the short term. but
I
I
get your
see you
point.
hesitate. But obviously, it depends on what it is, really.
I think
I mean,
I think you're stupid not to factor in what other people are going to do, and that therefore is game theory. That you factor in what other people, that you're not the only person playing the game.
yeah. But if you keep trying to factor in what people are going to do, you're not. You're okay. You're being intelligent, but you're not being principled. And what we want to avoid is have a world run by people who are just intelligent at stabbing others in the back.
True, that's true. That's the difference between a high trust and a low trust society, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, a high trust society basically requires belief in God, unavoidably.
Speaking of which, David Yorkshire's here. Welcome, David. How are you?
Hello. Do you mean speaking of God? I'm here.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Ah, wonderful. Yes. Well, I am a pagan, so the gods run through my veins. That's
Plural. Plural.
plural, of course, because they're the founders of the race.
Indeed. Are they real when you say gods, David, forgive me, I know nothing about paganism. Are you believing that they are real entities? Or is it mythological?
This is very difficult to explain to sort of Christians, post-Christians, and people like Claire who believe in. I don't know what she believes in. Frankly, I don't think she knows herself.
She doesn't believe in anything.
But it's like this. It's the idea is that if you sort of achieve greatness, you can aspire to godhood. Because you will become imbued with the powers of nature. Everyone is absorbed into nature when they die. That is a fact.
Yes.
Physically, you go into the ground, you become humus, which enriches the ground and everything. This is where the blood and soil idea comes from. You see, but equally, of course, what happens to the spirit? The spirit also goes into nature, goes back into nature, and you become sort of part of the racial consciousness and part of the racial spirit. And of course, in abandoning our gods, we have abandoned ourselves.
I think I kind of get what you're
And so the gods, they live in nature and they live in us.
What are the names of these gods, David?
Well, there are many of them, aren't there?
Could you
here we
name
go.
one?
Odin, Thor, Freya, Frigga, Ostara, and there are far too many to sort of
the Viking
go on and
pantheon.
mention. But those are the major ones. The major ones you've heard of course, because they get turned into stupid Marvel superheroes for sort of morons, really.
Well, superheroes are a kind of demigod, aren't they?
Well,
Superman is kind of Hercules.
Superheroes is basically taking. If you look at everything, it sort of declines. All literature declines, and so it starts with myth, and then it goes into legend and ends up as comic books.
And the works of fiction, while if you go to the Old Testament, you'll get people who are supposed to have existed, such as Moses and others.
Well, I do say that, I do think there's a grain of truth in his existence. But it's, again, it's become mythic, it's become sort of overwrought, and, there's a lot of nonsense about it. But it's like this, for example, if we look at that whole Old Testament thing, it was Easter recently, and the Jews, of course, celebrated Passover. Well, what's Passover exactly? Passover is a celebration of the last of the great plagues, wasn't it? Which was the killing of the firstborn in Egypt. But if you actually look at that story, this sort of all-powerful deity, so to speak, someone had to go and paint all the Jews' front doors with lamb's blood, so that their all-powerful, all-knowing deity knew which doors to enter into and kill the children in their sleep. Well, you can sort of read between the lines there, can't you? It wasn't really an all-powerful deity who was doing the killing, wasn't it?
Well, I suppose the idea was to make the Jews do what they were supposed to do, identify themselves, and maybe, people are afraid, it's like the secret ballot, isn't it? I mean, the secret ballot is to avoid intimidation, as opposed to a, show of hands when workers vote to go on strike or not, because they don't want to be identified by the employer and then sacked and whatever. But it is by putting blood over their threshold, that they were identifying themselves as Jews, and therefore only they were worthy of God's protection. It's all declaring yourself.
Well, an all-knowing God would have known who was Jews and who were not.
Yes, but then
it
God
sounds a bit
requires
Jews to
declare
it's a moot
themselves.
point. It's a moot point.
Sounds a bit ridiculous, yeah. As loads of stuff does back then. This is why it's got to be mythology, isn't it? I mean, let's be real about it. Come on, there's so much ridiculous stupidity in it.
Yeah, it's like we pagans don't believe that these poems and so on, the Eddas and everything, believed. We don't believe that they actually happened as per the words written down on the they're stories that hold a truth to them, but they're not a literal truth, if you see what I mean. They're a literary truth rather than a literal truth.
I mean, even among Christians, very devout ones, there's very few who literally believe, like the story of Genesis, the Adam and Eve story, literally.
Yep. Yes, but you're meant to. That's the point of it. You're meant to.
But I don't think anybody
But
does,
you are kind of supposed to talk about it as if it really happened. Like, who was to blame and what was God's intention when he told them not to eat from the tree of life and the tree of knowledge? I mean, did he, if he didn't tell them to do it, they probably wouldn't have done it. So he must have wanted them to do it by psychologizing them.
Well,
and so he wanted to kick them out anyway.
Well, this is the paradox, and one of many in Judeo-Christianity, of course. The big one, of course, is the creation of evil. If everything is created by God, then evil is also created by God.
Indeed.
And deliberately so.
Yes.
So the idea that God is good, well, God is also evil, surely, because he's everything. See, it's a nonsense.
Well, I mean, there is a reason for it, because, I mean, if you do believe in God and the afterlife, then this life is an examination hall in which we display our understanding of the difference between good and evil in theory and in praxis. And it's like, yeah, we may know we're not supposed to kill, but maybe in the heat of the moment we do. And we have to negotiate the difference and show we know. And therefore, it is logically necessary for God to create evil so that we are allowed to, we are in a position to choose.
All right, but that doesn't explain why, like, 4-year-old children die of leukemia, does it, Claire?
Then it would be explained by reincarnation.
Yeah, but what did they do to deserve that? Basically,
if you're
this is the thing. You can't.
Killed.
So you're into pagan territory now, then, Claire Cole, because you've just come up with reincarnation.
Well, actually, ultra-Orthodox Jews believe in reincarnation because there's nothing forbidding them from believing in reincarnation.
What about Muslims?
There is,
Muslims,
because you're
not Muslims.
You're meant to have eternity. You're meant to have eternity in heaven and all that kind of nonsense.
Well, I mean, Jews only talk about an afterlife, so an afterlife could be, heaven or hell or reincarnation.
But no, but it's meant to be heaven or hell for all eternity. That's the teachings.
Well, I can only tell you that ultra-Orthodox Jews do believe in reincarnation.
Which ones? Which sect?
Well, Rabbi Mizrahi often talks about it, and he got into trouble with the PC crowd because he was saying, if you Down syndrome, they probably did something wrong in their previous life, and the liberals were up in arms saying, how could you say such a thing, that they deserve, what they got.
Mizrahi, how do you spell that?
Mizrachi.
Mizrachi.
He's been in trouble for Holocaust denial, so he's quite a well-known rabbi because I mean, he says, I don't give anyone my opinion. I just relay the wisdom of the Torah to my listeners.
These people are all insane, though, Claire. Come on. Oh, my God.
Well, I just find it useful if to see how people behave when they literally believe in it. Because if you talk to them, the modern Jew, it's like, well, did it really happen? We don't know. It could be, and because they're always so double-minded about it, they never say anything for certain. But, if you talk to the elder ones, like, well, of course, you do blah, 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 blah. And
I wasn't speaking about their Holocaust denial. I was just saying they are crazy people. You listen to these people, they're just crazy.
He's quite powerful, Rabbi Mizrahi. And he's got quite a following amongst Gentiles. I mean, he talks to the Knesset and, and he knows all the gossip of the latest thing in Israel and all that. So, anyway, I mean, he's a great raconteur. So, it's always, fun to listen to his stories. And how he complains about the lefty liberal traitors who are anti-Semites and Nazis who want to destroy the religion of the Jews, who are too stupid to know that their identity comes from the observant Jews who, do the thing properly. Well, the secular Jews just sort of freeload, free ride, freewheel, whatever the expression is.
Yeah, the religion of secular Jews is progressivism, isn't it? Incarnation.
Well, it's liberalism.
Yes.
It's what we believe in, but with a kind of a faint coating of Jewish identity, which they don't even believe in. It's like, oh, well, just like the menorah as it's, Friday or something.
Well, it's breaking down all boundaries. This is the issue, isn't it? Breaking down all boundaries to like old traditions, of ways of doing things, and so breaking down boundaries to business, breaking down boundaries into countries, just full progressivism and liberalization and deregulation. That is pardon my ignorance, the religion of secular Jews, really, how it's morphed into in today's world. And you can see an incentive in doing that for them. I'm not necessarily making a judgment, but you can see a self-incentive in doing that because it serves their interests, I suppose.
Well, no, I mean, they're just assimilating into liberalism. And I don't think, Gentiles can blame Jews for, liberalism because, I mean, if we're going to take the mature view, it's like liberals just have corrupted their morals.
if you grow up as an outsider in a society, then you feel like what you have to do is serve the agenda of breaking down the boundaries and the things that potentially might keep you out of that society in the future, that kind of thing, and campaign against these kinds of things, etc. And I'm probably starting
Yes,
to say too
it's
much. So
understandable that you would, wish to seek advantage in the society that you find yourself in and you want to make the rules work for you. But then there are, these other rules that are supposed to be the religion of your people. And you can choose whether to follow them or not follow them. And then you can decide whether following them makes you happier or not so happy. And maybe, we won't really know until we're well, until maybe we're near death or whatever, because we don't really know, do we? Saying if we marry, if we're going to be happy, if we have children, if they're going to be any good, and we just don't know. And
what's your point? I've lost your point.
my point is that having a stable identity gives us better mental health than not having a stable identity. Because
Sure.
having a stable identity means following rules, but then we also don't like to follow too many rules. So we're always veering between one and the other, and eventually, it might drive us mad. I mean, imagine how mad you would be if your other identity was if you had a split personality, or on certain days you'd go out and drag. I mean, that would have some effect on your mental health, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I try to restrict it just to Saturday nights now.
Yeah. I mean, it's a story of Mr. Jekyll, Dr.
That's a
Jekyll, and
joke, by
Mr.
the way.
Hyde.
That's a joke. Okay, that's a joke.
No, I think the Claire Cause actually stumbled upon a decent point for a change. No, she's right that you have to have a stable identity, but it has to be a coherent identity. In other words, racially, spiritually, and in terms of one's own cultural norms. It has to be homogeneous. Yeah, that word that I can't pronounce.
Homogeneity.
Homogeneic.
Yes, that's the one.
Well, I mean, that would be the ideal, David. But I mean, these days, it would be great just to speak what we believe to be the truth. That would be nice without being punished for it. That would be nice. And act logically. That would also be nice. And yesterday, somebody was saying, "Oh, these Europeans, they never act logically. They don't act logically, do they?" And I had to agree that they don't, because their mind is just so. I don't know. I mean, there's just so many taboos that well, nobody acts rationally. And my view is that even if we were orphans and didn't know who the hell our parents were, the least we can aspire to is to speak what we believe to be the truth and act rationally, and maybe have a few principles that make us decent people, even though we are orphaned from our group or parents or whatever. I mean, that's the least we can be. That's the minimum, I would have thought.
Well, the problem is that you have to be rooted in something, and you have to be rooted in your parents and your ancestors and so on. And from the wellspring of the culture that your ancestors came from. And of course, the culture in turn, because I mean, paganism is all about things being reciprocal. One thing influences the other, and vice versa. So you are a product of your culture, just as the culture is a product of you. And of course, again, going back to the homogeneity question, this gives you a stable and strong sense of identity, which is what we haven't got in a multiracial society, where everyone is trying to get something that they regard as homogeneic, and they regard as their cultural norms and so on. And everybody's pulling in different directions, and
That's why you have religion.
that is inevitably so in a multiracial society. It's essentially why the Roman Empire broke up, because everyone was trying to get a bit for themselves. You'd got, the German pagans, and you've got the Jews and so on, and everyone was trying to influence they're trying to pull for their ideas of what is truth.
Well, Edward Gibbon said Christianity was the cause of the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. And actually, when you were talking about...
He said it was one of them, yes. In fact, I did a series of videos on it.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things about the Roman Empire is that people think, oh, the Romans, and they think they have in their mind's eye this idea of a Roman, but actually they started off as a people who hated kings and ended up as a people who worshipped their emperors. So you could say that the Roman identity was not entirely stable, and they chop and change a bit, or more than a bit.
Well, inevitably so, as your empire expands and it draws in all these different peoples with different ideas of even what leadership is, then inevitably things will change. And of course, the thing about an empire is that as it takes in more and more disparate peoples, inevitably you will need stronger and more tyrannical leadership to bind them all together. This is what's happening now.
Well, it's a cultural exchange as well. If you go around conquering people's countries, you're going to, absorb some of their culture, and also all empires are logically and necessarily multicultural and multiracial.
Exactly, but this of course leads to a kind of dysphoria or whatever, where you're alienated. You have a cultural alienation because the culture has become so far removed to who you are and your own identity.
Yes, I mean, for the problem for the Romans was that the empire was so big that the original Romans living in Rome were the original Romans, and the Roman Empire was vast. So, at one point, the Italians became Roman and sacrificed their, Etruscan, and their regional identity in order to become Roman citizens. So
Yeah.
there is, always a cultural exchange. You give up your identity for, what you think is a greater advantage.
But inevitably, of course, it's not an advantage. It may be a short-term advantage, but it's not a long-term advantage. I mean, the short-term advantages were really things like economic advantages, trade and so on, because it was a great civilization. But as I say, the problem with a great civilization, meaning a vast civilization, is that inevitably you will become watered down. And that
You
will
become a victim of your own success. But that's what all empires become a victim of, their own success.
You would have to define what success is. Do you mean living comfortably?
Well, you think you are supreme, nobody's going to invade you, and then you start lowering standards of sexual morality.
But you're already invaded. Because, of course, once you're part of the empire, anybody from another part of the empire can come and live there. And this, of course, has happened with reverse colonization after the end of the British Empire.
Well, I think in bigger empires, they have this thing called the internal passport. So, you couldn't just sort of leave town. You had to ask permission and that sort of thing. I mean, China and Russia operated, a system of internal passports.
The British Empire didn't know, and in fact, this was seen at the end, as the British Empire became the Commonwealth, and you had it sort of enshrined into law when you had I think it was called the Commonwealth Act, when basically anybody from the former colonies could come and live in Britain. And that's, of course, what many people used, and why so many people came to Britain. And then, of course, restrictions started to be put upon that when they realized what could possibly happen. But then, of course, there was a sort of a fight in politics between the people who wanted mass immigration and people who didn't. But the people who wanted mass immigration slowly took over Parliament.
I think it's a kind of behavioural addiction. It's like we don't have enough people. We'll let a few of them come in, and it's like, oh well, they're here. Why don't we have some more? It's not like we're going to suddenly get enough people, because we would need our women and men to become parents and rear the children. It'll take another 15, 16, and it's like, well, we can't wait that long. Say the farmers and businesses and that's why they say demographics is destiny. And once you start doing it, you can't stop. It's like a drug, isn't it? It's
Well,
like usually.
no,
The
I
other
mean
things.
there was this idea at the end of the Second World War, and it was really an ideological idea, and went really back before that, but it started being acted upon after the Second World War. But I think it was the 13th of December 1933 when the future Prime Minister Clement Attlee stood up in Parliament and talked about building towards a world government. And of course, he had this idea that the peoples of the world should all be mixed together, and that we should be heading towards a one world government. I've actually cited that particular speech in Parliament in one of my articles that I wrote, which was on Windrush and so on. But there were ideological motivations at the back of everything that happened post Second World War. Of course, the problem is that the idea, or at least what he said the idea was to avoid war again. Wars between nations. Well, of course, what happens is you end up with wars within nations, as Yugoslavia proved, and that is happening even on the streets of Sheffield. You've got Bangladeshi gangs against West Indian gangs and so on. And these are little low-level wars that don't get reported on in the media because they don't want to upset sensibilities and so on. But every so often somebody dies, and it's there's a little mini headline somewhere, on page 7 or something, and this is going on, and this will escalate inevitably. Apparently,
Yes, because it all started with you were talking about war. You were talking about some local, turf war or something. But I mean, every war is a gamble, and the gamble for Britain didn't pay off in World War One and World War Two, and so you have all these unintended consequences that has changed your way of life.
Well, what gamble? What are you talking about?
Well, declaring war on Germany twice.
I mean that really had nothing to do with what is happening now.
Well, of course it does, because you lose all those men. You have a labour shortage, and you think, well, we have the resource of the empire. We've got all these people who'd be happy to come here. We'll bring them in.
No, that's rubbish. That's just an excuse because you can easily downsize the economy to
Well, they didn't, did they?
compensate for that. No, that's what I'm talking about because there are ideological reasons at the back of it. Don't forget that at the end of the First World War, they tried what they did with the Windrush and everything, but there were so many riots that the West Indians were sent back, and so after the Second World War, of course, they tried it again, and this time succeeded despite the riots. But there were ideological reasons. There weren't economic reasons because, as I say, you can just restructure the economy. That's not a problem.
Well, there's always unintended consequences, and yes, maybe once you start something, you can't,
They were intended consequences by certain people for ideological reasons. I'm afraid I'm going to have to go now, so I shall bid you farewell.
Thank you for coming, David. Appreciate you.
Before the conspiracy theory, I was groaning inwardly, but anyway. Oh yes, Road Trader says, "Can we go back to small talk banter, please?"
I think I'm all out of it, to be honest. I think we.
Yes, I know. So am I. We've done very well.
Yeah, it was a good return. Good return. No need to push it any further, really.
No.
I suppose. Plus, my head fucking gets, pardon my French, gets fried after 2 hours.
Yes. I can't wait to play with my Suno and my what was the other thing?
So it's Suno.com and the other one is Udio. I think Udio.com, yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you for that introduction.
Yes, no problem. I think, look, just to sum up then, Jay came on and made a good, valid argument, and we talked about how this is how potentially can have devastating consequences, not only upon the creativity of artists, musicians, anybody in the fields of arts, absolutely, and how it levels the playing field and potentially makes everything derivative, basically. Perhaps we've entered the period now from here on out of where there is no more originality. Everything is a future derivative, and that, of course, is a frightening reality. But I mean,
but eventually, I think people will say, "Well, we want to see the real thing. We want to see the band. We want to see the people, the men, the women, the drummer, the guitarist."
I absolutely agree with the idea that authenticity is going to become a much more sought after thing. That being said, I think the use cases for this kind of stuff is just phenomenal too. I mean, if you can just create jingles and soundtracks and stuff and use them to enhance your stuff where you couldn't before, then people are going to do it. It's going to be fine. And if the product is good enough, people will enjoy it, irrespective of it. They might long for authenticity, but people still just consume good product. Like I mentioned, the 3-body problem. Okay, that's the picture in the background. The new Netflix show, which you've not watched yet, have you?
I have heard of it.
It's a sci-fi show. I recommend it. Okay, it's a sci-fi show. Yeah, I recommend. The reason actually I brought it up, I've just remembered, is because you were talking about game theory. And so in the 3-body problem, it is essentially, I'm not giving any spoilers, but it's essentially a story about making contact with aliens, okay? Okay, I've told you it's sci-fi. But it's originally a series of 3 novels written by a Chinese author. That's what it's based upon. And the thesis in here is a solution to. It's an answer to the Fermi paradox, and the Fermi paradox is this question about why, if life is prevalent, if life is common in the universe, if us on this planet, if we're not the only one in the universe, which the laws of probability tell us, you know, there must, we know there are thousands of other suns and stars in the known universe. There are literally billions of trillions of them, because there are galaxies with billions of stars in them, and therefore now we've found planets around these stars everywhere. So if the universe is teeming with life, where is it? Why can't we see any evidence of it? That's the Fermi paradox. When we look out in the night sky, unless you believe like in UFOs and all this bullshit, there is apparently no evidence of actual aliens out there. We haven't found any. It looks like a wilderness out there. That's the Fermi paradox. So where the fuck are they? If
Well,
the
it could be
universe is
God
teeming
saying,
with
I
life.
created the entire universe just for you.
Well, that's one solution. That is one solution to the Fermi paradox. We are alone. Okay, that's one of many. But there's quite a few. And one of them that is dealt with in this new series on Netflix based upon Chinese novels is known as the dark forest hypothesis. And the dark forest hypothesis puts out the idea that we live, the universe is a forest, and we live in that dark forest, okay? And essentially it argues that the intentions of any newly contacted civilization in the galaxy could never be known, which means that if one was encountered, it would be best to shoot first and ask questions later, basically, to avoid destruction. And
Yes.
so as a result, all advanced civilizations keep silent, and with meaning that any that stick their heads above the parapet and say, aha, we're here, end up getting destroyed. And that's why we live in this dark forest with everybody remaining silent, you know, basically too scared, and the ones that have announced themselves already destroyed. So that's what this series basically is about. So the dark forest hypothesis, and at the start of the series, this young Chinese researcher makes contact with one of these alien species and essentially announces our presence, and the aliens are on the way. With the intention of destroying us. So yeah. On that
Well,
note,
perhaps they won't all behave like Western imperialists.
Well, the thesis of the book and therefore the TV show is no. That's exactly what they are going to do. So,
All right.
Yeah, they're coming, and it's something like 400 years before they arrived. All right, then. I think that's it.
Thank
Claire,
you, Stephen.
thank you for coming. It's
My
been
pleasure.
fun.
Yes. Thank you again for this great introduction to AI music.
Yes. All right. I don't think. Do I have an outro? I don't know if I do. Oh, screw it. We'll play this. See you later, everybody. I appreciate you coming. Give this one a like. If you're a weirdo who's shown up and you're not subscribed, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Adios, amigos. Oh, I'd really like to say thank you to Patrick Martin Ewings, who sent me £2 before the show started. I appreciate you. All right, buddy. See you in the next one. That's the wrong one.
For a different age I was born, every man has once said. For each was to honour swan, rather to all this cowardice bred. Thus for a gilded time we mourn, insisting such days forever dead. Yet of all the feelings ever known, longing for a time not your own is when true cowardice is shown, especially if dark the age has grown. But like dawn light in black sown, all darkness will be overthrown. All darkness will be overthrown. Instead, one is given a great gift, born in darkness and darkest days. He is given trials, mountains to lift, aye, the very minotaur in his maze. He is called to be strong, to be swift, a hero upon which his sons gaze. So appear you king, or appear you slave, among the good, or a people strayed, with actions now the future pave. For the coward is he who delayed, product of his age, cradle to grave. But an age makes not, it is man-made. It is man-made.